Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime no Mi. Today, continuing with the One Piece videos, we'll talk about Luffy. We know he already has Goma Goma no Mi, a devil fruit that allows him to fight in versatile ways, managing with this power to surprise his enemies and even the manga fans with his amazing moves. But what if Luffy had a second devil fruit power in One Piece? In today's video we'll talk about some fruits that match Luffy's personality and his fighting style, using as a basis devil fruits that the author of One Piece has already shown in the manga. And I already count on your support to leave your like in today's video to help the channel. I also count on you to subscribe if you're still new here. Let's go to the video. Guys, Luffy has the powers of his devil fruit since his childhood. After not knowing about the legendary fruits, he ate the Goma Goma no Mi that was on top of a counter. This fruit had been brought by Shanks and his crew. Since then he has trained hard to improve his fruit, achieving an incredible level of mastery with his fruit, turning it from a simple fruit that turns the user into rubber to an amazing fruit capable of defeating users with fruit with a power incredible destructive. But what if he had eaten another fruit? Or if he were to eat a second fruit, how would that change Luffy's fighting style? Let's talk about some fruits that would be interesting to see him using, and how they can evolve if they were in his possession. We separated some fruits based on existing fruits. After all, we know that there are fruits with similar powers. Let's start the video talking about one of the first devil fruits to be featured in the manga, Bara Bara no Mi, a paramecia type fruit that allows the user to be immune to blade cutting attacks. With this fruit the user is able to split their own body into pieces and control the separated body parts however they want, mainly making the separated body parts fly away from the user's main body. The main advantage of this fruit is that the user becomes permanently immune to slashing damage, regardless of how it is attacked. Instead of being injured or even losing their life from the attacks, the user's body is simply separated into pieces without the user getting hurt. The levitation effect appears to be able to extend to things in contact with the user, allowing him to also control them to ignore gravity, so he can lift objects regardless of how heavy they really are. The fruit would allow Luffy to be able to separate parts of his body to be able to punch or even throw objects at his enemies, and as we know, Luffy is very creative and would be able to create several new attacks with the Bara Bara no Mi. This fruit would still greatly increase Luffy's power if used together with the Goma Goma no Mi. Now another fruit that would match Luffy's personality would be the Kuku Kuku no Mi, a paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to turn objects into food. As we know, Luffy lives eating after his long fights, and with this fruit he would have easy access to foods to eat and also to feed other people, doing this only by turning an object into a food. Anywhere, Luffy would be able to eat anything he wanted. Even if it wasn't a fruit to make him stronger, I'm sure Luffy would love to have this fruit. Luffy wouldn't even need to cook the food. The user-created food can provide nutrition, but the food tastes not that tasty, so Luffy would have to try to hone his power to make food that tastes better with this devil fruit. This would also be very good to use together with Goma Goma no Mi. After all, Luffy needs to feed after using his gears to be able to fight again. Continuing, let's talk about a fruit that has a power similar to Goma Goma no Mi, actually a power that has almost the same characteristics. We're talking about Machi Machi no Mi, a paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to create, control and transform their body into Machi. With Machi Machi no Mi, Luffy would be able to control large amounts of Machi with high precision. Luffy could extend his body using Machi to do various things. This then would be a fruit with powers similar to what he does with his rubber fruit, but without the need to put force to stretch his body. This fruit is very similar to Goma Goma no Mi, as it gives the user's body the properties of an elastic substance that allows them to stretch their body parts and expand their bodies at will. Unlike the rubber powers obtained through the Goma Goma no Mi fruit, Luffy could completely transform his body into Machi and even produce Machi through his body and manipulate it. With this fruit, Luffy could even use techniques that he already uses with the powers of his Goma Goma no Mi, but in this case with the ability to manipulate Machi. He can even create auxiliary arms to make his attacks more powerful. With Luffy's highly advanced Byusa Haki, he would be able to change the shape of his Machi body to dodge attacks, thus making the punches of his enemies using Haki pass through him instead of hitting him. Furthermore, the awakening of this fruit would allow Luffy to transform the inorganic material around him into Machi, transforming his surroundings into Machi to improve and increase his range of attacks, even managing to capture his opponents. Practically, this fruit would allow Luffy to be able to use all his abilities, and maybe he could also create new abilities with it. But maybe he wouldn't be able to use his gears and any physical enhancement techniques if he didn't have the Goma Goma no Mi. Since the gears require the wearer's body to be made of rubber in order for him to be able to inflate her body parts, in addition to being able to control her body to change her metabolism, which the Machi Machi no Mi wouldn't allow. Remembering again, we are talking about alternatives similar to the fruits that already exist, that is, it would be a devil's fruit similar to the Machi. Let's now talk about Bane Bane no Mi, a paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to transform transformed their body parts into springs, a fruit very similar to Goma Goma no Mi, but having less power than Luffy's fruit. Transforming his legs into springs, Luffy could make incredible jumps, which can be used to launch himself at incredible speeds. In order to unleash reinforced attacks, Luffy could also transform his abdomen into a spring, for greater flexibility. This fruit is also very similar to Goma Goma no Mi, as both can make the foot become a spring, so that they can quickly jump to different places. With these jumps they can always get great speed, consequently getting stronger punches on their opponents, but this fruit would be weaker compared to the fruit that Luffy already has. Let's talk now about a fruit that during Dressrosa Luffy's arc would like to eat, but he can't do that, as he already had a fruit, so he looked for someone he trusted to gift that person with that power. We are talking about Mera Mera no Mi, a Logia-type fruit that allows the user to create, control and transform their body into fire. Luffy, if he could, he would eat this fruit to honor his brother Ace, to carry his determination in him. With the Mera Mera no Mi, Luffy would be able to create devastating fire-based attacks, in addition to gaining a high resistance to heat and fire-based attacks. The flames can also be used to improve the strength of Luffy's physical attacks. In addition, he would be able to avoid normal attacks by turning his own body into fire, making the attack pass through him without causing damage. If he could use 2 devil fruits and had not given this fruit to Sabo, Luffy would use this power. After all, he created a technique with flames to honor his brother Ace. Now let's talk about Tori Tori no Mi, Model Phoenix. She is a mythical Zoan that allows the power user to transform into a hybrid or complete phoenix, giving all the characteristics of the legendary bird. With this fruit, Luffy would get the ability to regenerate at a gigantic level, managing to recover from serious injuries during a battle. In addition, the blue flames can also be used to treat other people, although in a more limited way. Like all Zoan-type devil fruits, Luffy could get great physical abilities. He could also change parts of his body, turning his feet into claws to attack and cut his opponents more efficiently. Due to the great regeneration and increase in his physical attributes, the Tori Tori no Mi would be perfect for him to use during combat, as well as being able to heal any of his companions if they were injured. And lastly, let's talk about Nico Nico no Mi in the Saber-Tooth Tiger model. It is a Zoan ancestral devil fruit that allows the user to transform into a full or hybrid version of a saber-tooth tiger. With this fruit, Luffy could transform into a saber-tooth tiger, a powerful, predatory feline from prehistory that stands out because of its elongated and curved fangs in its upper jaw. As with other ancestral Zoan fruits, this fruit's transformation grants even more strength and stamina than normal Zoans, being much more powerful, and by eating the fruit, Luffy would gain a pair of long, sharp canine fangs to use in bite attacks. While this isn't something Luffy currently does, it seems to be an attack he would use. It would also gain claws on its hands and feet, as well as other feline powers that the fruit can grant. Among the ancient Zoans, it has a very high agility despite the large size the user gets after transforming. The focus of this fruit would be its great speed increase and strength gain, causing Luffy to create a new fighting style, managing to deliver powerful blows due to its increased strength, and can even use its claws to further injure his opponent. These were the fruits that could be interesting to see Luffy using, mainly in conjunction with Goma Goma no Mi, making Luffy have to use new amazing techniques, even more with his great creativity, being able to use unexpected blows. But now I want to know what you think about it. What other fruits do you think it would be interesting to see Luffy using? Leave your opinion in the comments. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.